Target 7.5 is the longest of the conversion problems that you'll be asked. You're asked to convert between grams of one substance to grams of another. If you look at your foldable, it's the entire foldable. So you have to convert grams of your given into moles of your given. Then you use the mole ratio. Finally, you use the molar mass of what you want to convert moles into grams. Question 1 says, how many grams of H2S are needed to react with 85.3 grams of SO2? Highlight what you're given. I was given 85.3 grams of SO2. That's the first number I'm going to write down. I think it's important, especially for the gram-to-gram problems, that you not only include the given, but you include the unit and you include the compound that it's referring to. The reason is, once we see that this is grams of SO2, the only way to get rid of that is to divide by grams of SO2. So this blank is for your molar mass of SO2. So 1 sulfur plus 2 oxygen, I get a molar mass of 64 grams of SO2 for every 1 mole. The next step, we have moles of SO2. So we know we need moles of SO2 on the bottom. And I'm asking you to convert it into H2S. So H2S goes on the top. This is where I write down my mole ratio. There are 8 SO2 for every 16 H2S. If I stopped right here, I would have a gram to mole conversion problem, but I'm asking you for grams of H2S, so there are 34.1 grams of H2S in every 1 mole. So to solve, multiply across the top. 85.3 times 1 times 16 times 34.1. We're going to get a really big number here, 46539.68 divided by 64 times 8 times 1, 512. So let's take those two numbers, 46539.68 divided by 512, and I get a final answer of 90.9 grams of H2S. Question 2, how many grams of S8 could be formed from 28 grams of SO2? Start with your given, 28 grams of SO2. I need to convert grams of SO2 into moles using the molar mass. There are 64 grams of SO2 for every 1 mole. Step 2 is to use my mole ratio. There are 8 moles of SO2 for every 3 moles of S8. And then finally, take your moles of S8 and turn it into grams using your molar mass. S8 has a molar mass of 256.5 in 1 mole. To solve, I'm going to multiply across the top. So 28 times 1 times 3 times 256.5 divided by 64 times 8 times 1, that's 512. And I get a final answer of 42.1 grams of S8. The last question says, if 24 grams of H2O are formed, how many grams of S8 also formed? 24 grams of H2O turn grams into moles using the molar mass of water. There are 18 grams of water in 1 mole of water. Next step is to use my ratio. 16 water will also form 3S8. And then I need my molar mass, 256.5 over 1 mole. So let's multiply our top row. 24 times 1 times 3 times 256.5. 18468. Multiply across the bottom, 18 times 16 times 1. And then divide your two numbers. 64.1 grams of S8 is my final answer.